Okay, so I think it's like 5. Last night was like, I swear to God, where is it there and think, okay, this night was rough. Oh, that night was way rougher. Last night was so much rough. If it's just gonna keep building into this horribleness, it's like, oh my God. Because it was, I'll tell you what this night was. It was horrible. And I was, I don't know, I fell asleep early because it's always the same thing. She'll be laying there snoring and snoring. So they'll be like, okay, I'm going to lay down. And then she'll get up. It's like, oh, well, if you're going to lay down, then I'm not ready to go to bed. I've got to get up. I got to do stuff. So I don't know. It was like, seems like it was like 6 or 6:30. And I'll get all my stuff, I'm just going to lay there and meditate. But I always just go to sleep. And then, but it's relaxing. It's just relaxing to just go in there and just, turn things off, unplug your mind and, put on the binaural beats and just relax. If she would just get a handle on that. So then, she woke up. It was like 8 o'clock at night. And I was like, oh my God, I felt like a zombie. I was like, no fucking way. And it seems like I was even laying there trying to go back to sleep. Like whatever this like intensity on the planet of the energy or something where you just can't relax and go to sleep. It's weird because I was just so conked out just a couple days ago. And now I just lay there and it's like it's so loud and I can't sleep. My mind is talking and it's just wild. And so, so I don't know. It's all just a big blur. All I know is that it became super stormy. There was all of this wind. Oh, that was the thing that was getting me. It was creeping me the fuck out because it would sound like all this stuff was running around on my roof and it would be so loud. And I even opened the door to get some wood. And when I did, and it was only like 8 o'clock at night, and when I did, it was like this big gust and this loud crashing happened right when I reached out and got my piece of wood. I ran in the house, slammed the door. I thought, oh my God, there's fucking skinwalkers out there or something. It was so creepy. Just the whole energy out there was so creepy. I was like, fuck. I locked my door, turned off the lights and everything. It's like, oh my God, is this when we're not supposed to be going out? Because I kept hearing so much noises. I kept hearing weird noises besides this running around on my roof and all this stuff hitting into the side of my house. And I tried looking out and seeing, and it's like there's nothing there. Like, what is making so much noise? And then I saw the wind start going and going, and I was looking out the window at my neighbor's lights, and I thought, oh, the electricity is going to go out. And right then it started going like that, and then it went out. I keep knowing things that are going to happen right before they happen, like constantly. It's like when you tune into this other side of the world, this other side of reality, it's like you know what's going to happen all the time. And so I knew the power was going to go out, and then it went out, and it was so... Oh my God, she's so dramatic. It was so pitch black. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I did a video too. The first video I did, I turned it on and the camera light came on and the room became real bright. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was shocking because it was so pitch black. And so I did one with that just because it was kind of amazing me. And then I did it without the camera so you could really see how black it is. But I wanted to do one to say that all the power was out, like all the power in my whole neighborhood. There was no power. And it was still high-pitched shrieking in my ears. And it's been so bad. I swear, ever since that movie came, well, it's been so bad for so long anyways. But ever since that movie came out, it just seems like it's more. I don't know. It's just standing out more. Just knowing that they are doing that. God, I swear. Ugh, this rash. I've got all these weird tingle things all over me. Yesterday, I had to take that one necklace off that had the silver because it started eating through my skin. And so I've got this sore on the back of my neck. It is hurting. Then I swear to God, they're trying to give some kind of virus to start shingles or something. I have this rash that's low down on my back that's really itchy, that you can't feel it or anything, but it just keeps being in the same place. I keep thinking, oh man, because that's a chicken pox virus or something. Like they dump all these fucking things on us all the time. And they like reuse viruses, bacterias, parasites. They just recycle, reuse this stuff. They test on it in labs when they see how something can affect us. Then they see like they say, it's the gain, so that they are like gaining control by the function. So, but it's really so that they can just test and see other ways to do us in. Oh, which by the way, there's a video that's come out on the Follow the Cabal woman, and they're saying that she did herself and that she struggled with depression for a long time. And on November 16th, they just found her after 5 weeks, and it looked like she took a bottle of pills, but she struggled with depression, and that was part of our thing of wanting to show what she showed. So I don't know. I mean, there's so much illusion to our world. It's like you just got to just go with the flow. You can't just go all in on anything, I think. You just got to be like, oh, okay, so that's happening, that's happening, that's happening, that's happening, that's happening. It's like so many things happening. But so the storm had started being so windy, and the trees, and there was no power. So all you could hear was the storm and all these things hitting into the house. And I kept hearing explosions. There was a bunch of explosions. And then I would hear explosion, but then I would feel the ground shaking. So I was like, there is no way, unless I completely am manufacturing and I'm making these noises, and then in my body, I think I'm feeling something. This hurts really bad on my neck. I put castor oil too. No idea what the hell. It's like my skin is, I don't know, having reactions to the environment. I was super excited though about something about yesterday, about a rabbit hole that I went down. And while I'm getting this headache. But one of the things was, so now I'm probably, oh yeah, because let me finish about the weather thing. Because then the power went out. And so there, every time the power goes out, you're like, okay, so is this it? Is this going to be, is it not going to come on for a while now? Man, this one hurts back here. Is it not going to come on for a while? And then so you go through that whole process of, will it, won't it, what if, and then all of a sudden, and I was laying there trying to go back to sleep, trying to relax. And all of a sudden, these things came on. As the TV comes back on, all these things. My stove now, it has a new thing. It starts doing an alarm. So it starts alarming when the power goes out now. It didn't fix the code or anything. It just keeps doing weirder and weirder things. And the dryer is still doing the weird stuff too. Some days it will kind of heat up a little bit, but nowhere where it still takes like 6 or 8 hours to dry one little tiny load. And if you want to dry towels, you got to let them sit out and dry for a while before you even put them in. Everything takes so long. And even a hand towel doesn't dry. Everything is so wet and so moist. And so it was like totally flooding in my yard. It kept raining. The wind was just going. I was hearing crashes. I was hearing explosions. I was like, fuck. Then the lights come back on. So then get back up, have to turn things back off. And I don't know, just it was like kept being one thing after another. Then laying there trying to do the same thing. And the power went back out again. And so then it was like, fuck. So then you're laying there again, listening to the storm, listening to all this stuff where it sounds like things are running around on your house. It's totally creepy. And wondering if the power's going to come back on at all. Can you be able to handle it? And it was so, so creepy. It was so, so dark, but it was still so loud in my ears. And I was like, well, it's definitely not just hearing the electricity. Like, I know that has a part of just the intenseness of the energy or something, but there's something more. Like, if all the power goes out for all around and you still hear that buzzing, high-pitched sound in your ears, it's got to be coming from somewhere besides the electricity. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's the towers. I don't know if it's coming from their satellites. I don't know what the hell. is going on. Man, I want to take this one off too, but it's just a tie, but it's really hitting into this. It seems like this place on the back of my neck is getting worse. I can't see back there. But it started out as just like a little tiny thing where it was hurting. And I didn't pay that much attention to it. And then as the day was going, it just was getting worse and worse to where I was like, fuck, I should just take that off. And then I get off, and now I'm getting such a bad headache too. And my neighbor was just leaving to go to work. And I was like, man, it's after 5. So I don't know, maybe he gets to go in late or something because it's right after Christmas. Because I think usually he has to leave like at 4. But so he has a diesel truck and it was sitting out there heating up for a long, long time, you know. So it's just out there they're so loud when they're heating up. And I was just thinking, wow, now he's going to work. So now he's leaving for the week. He was there for his family. Like I was just shuffling through all that stuff and just thinking, man, I just can't believe all these people who live like this. They ever stop and question, is this any way to live? Like I'm going to leave now from my home. I won't see my family till next weekend because, you know, we got to have nice things. It's like, man, I don't know. I think there's so much that just needs to change in our priorities. Man, my chest. And I've been having sneezing attacks and still all this post-nasal drip. And I keep reading and hearing all about this weird coughing everybody keeps having. And one thing too, somebody is, asked me something. TikTok is a thing that I go to a lot of times because you can go watch videos like on YouTube. Say you want to learn you want to see a recipe for making chocolate chip cookies with walnuts or something. And so you go on YouTube and you're going through all these videos. They're all like 6 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Some people can make it a half hour. You got all these tons and tons of videos of the same kind of recipe. But TikTok, you can go on there and you can see something in like 30 seconds, 2 minutes. They show you the same recipe over here. This guy's showing for 30. And so it's just like it's like a faster access to information. So a lot of times when I want to look something up, I will look it up on TikTok now because the videos are so much more quicker and condensed than going and looking at the ones on YouTube. But I'll go look at the ones on YouTube, and when it's something fast, like I just need to know something out of a recipe real quick, then I will go and look at that. So anyways, because somebody was saying, what is TT when I say, like somebody asked me something, I'll say, well, I look on TT, and then when they say, what is TT, and it's TikTok. So that is just another place you can look for information. There's lots of good videos. It's like a little bit different than all of them. You can see all these different ones are falling apart too. All these different people keep talking about it. Instagram, all the things that are going on Instagram is just really fake and phony and no interaction. Nobody talks to each other. Everybody just tries to show how cool they are and show pictures of their cool vacation and stuff. And so it's kind of becoming really yucky to the people who are waking up. The people who are still doing it, they're not, they haven't woke up to that part. The yuckiness behind some of the stuff is like when you do, though, it always is cringy. Facebook, too, it seems to be really mindless, but it's very under control. Just like TikTok's very under control. It's so ridiculous. Like, it is, and it's so built on consumerism. All they do is push and push and push for you to buy things and push their people to sell things. And I'm still just blown away at how many people who, they seem like that they make content, but then it's like they'll just jump into lip syncing and dancing and then the ones that are just all day long lip syncing and using filters, it's like, I don't know, it's like people have lost their damn minds. It's like they've gone complete mental. I can't even, TikTok is just as cringy as it seems like it just gets more cringy. Like all of these different things I think are supposed to get cringy. They're supposed to make us be like, ugh. So we kind of question and look at things different. As everything is about shuffling how you look at things, really. And so, but the thing I got so excited about yesterday was, and I don't know how I had seen it, but I had seen something about, oh my gosh, will you stop? Let me finish what I'm doing. Don't have to be so dramatic. Oh my gosh, Stella. Just go lay on your bed until I finish. What is it that can't wait? What do you gotta be so dramatic about? Can I finish what I'm doing, please? I just love to watch her sit there and think. So cute. God, she is so cute. It just breaks my heart about what's going on. Because then they're saying, too, in America, all the bullies that are in the shelters that they're going to just euthanize them. It's just the same thing as they're doing in the UK. And people just bringing home puppy after puppy after puppy, getting new puppies all over. It was like nonstop on TikTok. New puppy after new puppy. Kids opening boxes with puppies. It's like, this is exactly how they end up in the shelters, because they get them for their kids and they tell their kids they have to take care of them. And then the kids won't take care of them. And so then they go, it's like, it's got to be a family project. You got to be more dedicated to not just like, oh, this would be a cute, fun video to have for Christmas. And there's way more to it. Like, there's more care. It's supposed to be, when you get a pet, is to help you learn responsibility. And I don't know, everything's just gotten so backwards. At the same time, all these videos just filling and billing and billing of all these dogs that are being put down just every day, all day long. And please save this dog. Please save this dog. It just had puppies. Please save this mom and her puppies. And some of these videos of seeing these dogs that have been left out on the streets and been abused. Like, fucking people are, there's some people are horrendous. It's like, oh my God, I'm glad I don't have to go to your afterlife review. Sick. And this dog I just saw is like, I'm sure it's a Mastiff, and it is starving. It's been on the streets, I don't know how long. It's in St. Louis. It's like so fucking skinny. You see every single bone on this dog. Like, there's nothing to this dog but a little bit of hairy bone, skin over some bones. And when they had to try and pick up the dog and stuff, they were rescuing it off the street. And then they found it had a big burn going down it. Like, I don't know what the hell. I mean, maybe it escaped a house fire and it has ran and it's been missing from its people, and they'll find it and it'll be this beautiful reconciliation or something. I don't know. There's just so much of this horrible stuff that is out there where people just don't give a fuck. It's like a living soul. This is a living soul. And like I said before, it could be your grandpa. And people just, they can challenge you, but you can't just discard them. Like, man, I would have kept sticking it out with Jack no matter what. His family, his family wanting him back and seeing, how bad of a fit. It just made me question all that stuff too. It's like about the dog being a fit, and it is as much up to the dog as it is the person. Because he was really showing me when he just kept running away, he did not want to be here. And so, anyways, it was just perfect timing for me that his family was sitting there saying they missed him and want him back. So all these videos and stuff of I don't know, it's just like this disconnect or something in humanity. But this this big dog, I don't know how much it weighs. It needs to weigh way more. But when you see these dogs out there in the street like that, that shows to me that the dogs are not aggressive hunters. To me, dogs are scavengers. They'll eat garbage. They'll eat whatever they can find. They're not going to go. I saw where somebody was saying they would kill small game and stuff like that. Maybe hunting dogs, maybe a golden retriever or a black lab or something like that may be skillful enough that they would go out and kill a rabbit, or I don't know about mice. I guess they could do mice or rats or whatever they could catch, I guess. But most of the dogs wouldn't do that. Most of them would just look for garbage or something to eat. There's like scavengers. And man, I don't know how some of these get so skinny. And I don't know how you can even drive by and see a dog like that and not feel motivated to stop and feed it or try and do something. Like, I don't feel like that we as people take much notice or concern or care for the animals and the creatures around us. You know, I think it shows our attitude was when people go up and start knocking on giant doors and asking for giants to come to the door. I think it shows like people's attitude towards other beings. And it's such a place of ego and arrogance and ignorance. And so, anyways, you know, this is like a lot for humanity to learn, but it's going to be a real quick lesson. Like somebody was just saying that maybe it is going to be something with the sky is going to be the big thing that is going to about to happen. That's going to all of a sudden make people realize what this world is. Now it could be. I mean, I don't know how it's all going to play out. I know that all these things are going to happen. I know that something in the sky is going to happen. I know that people are going to start realizing what this place is. That's a part of the awakening. Part of you realizing who you are, what you're doing here. And then it changes your life. It changes your life view. It changes your life action. It changes how you live. And, you know, I think it changes your attitude a lot by how you look at things and how you think of things and what you let bother you and what you don't let bother you. Man, this is just really hurting. Wish I could see back there. Let me think. So, so the rabbit hole I went down yesterday, where I got so excited. It was something I saw. I'm sure it must have been something on TikTok. I saw about getting explants. And so getting your implants removed. And so you can get them removed with a local anesthesia. And so they just go in, they just give you a shot right there, make a little incision, and then they just push them out. I think that they must put drains in too, because it leaves like a hole. And so then you have to be strapped down to, you know, get your, the same thing as like when you have a cut and you have to hold it tight. So you have to go back and hold the wound tight so it can heal. And since I want to do it all holistic, I don't want him to go in and dig out, because you can go in and see. They can do these ones where they go in and dig out all this scar tissue and stuff, which I mean, I don't even know if I have scar tissue in there. But it was like, I would rather my body heal it than go in and do more trauma. I think you got to let your body heal. So I kept thinking about that. So then I saw a lot of videos talking back and forth on that, of whether or not to do all this more invasive treatments or to let your body heal. And I had seen this one doctor say that if you have a lot of tissue, like if you got implants and then you gained weight, and so then you have a lot more breast tissue, then they can do a lift right when you get the implants taken out, so that you won't have as much sagginess or something. But she said if you don't have a bunch of tissue, then you would have, it would just, it heals better if you let it heal itself, if you don't have a lot of tissue. And so my way would be the same as when I got them. And so I wouldn't have a bunch of extra tissue. It would be kind of like my chest would just go back to what it was like before. And which I think having both now, I feel like flat chested is so much more comfortable. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. And so the some of these doctors, so the ones that I had seen, that they said it's a simple, quick procedure. You just go in, you get a local anesthesia, they make a little incision, they just push the thing out, and then I guess put in a drain, sew you up, and then strap you down, and then you go back in a couple weeks and get the drains removed. I saw one girl who started having a bunch of infection and stuff, but she may have other issues. She's not taking care of herself or something, which, you know, that's when your body will tell you. If you're getting infections and stuff like that, then your body's telling you something. Your body's saying, you're not taking good care of me. I'm sick. Pay attention. I don't feel good. And so so she could have, you know, been missing some other signs, or this could have been a sign to show her that she had some problems with her immune system or something. I don't know. But mostly every single one I had seen, all was like, it was so simple and so great, and how much it improved their health. As soon as they got him out, their health started improving. And but when I had seen, it's like not every plastic surgeon does that, because, you know, that's got to be like such a quick, like, you just go in, they do a local, it said it's like a 15-minute surgery. You're in and out. It doesn't take any time at all. So, of course, they've got to, you know, come up with more things so they can do this, go in and clean out the capsule, and then do a lift and do all this stuff. It's like, I don't want any of that stuff done. I don't want more trauma done. I want to let my body heal. And I saw another plastic surgeon saying that that was better, especially if you didn't have a lot of tissue, is let your body heal. And then if you want to do a lift, that go back in and get one then. But she said some of them, the way that the body readjusts, that a lot of them don't need a lift. And so, you know, I'm just going to try and do it a natural way and just keep using my vision to keep, you know, healing and, you know, trying to put things back in place or whatever, you know, just like using your mind to do it, and then taking care of yourself. So that's what I want to do. But now it's finding the doctor who will do it. I put out all these different, because nothing was open. So I put out, like, a lot of them have websites so you can ask questions. So I asked questions and sent them in. And it's crazy because you'd think there'd be a ton. Like, you'd think Washington State, you got to have a lot of plastic surgeons. There's like one in Bellingham that I don't even know if he does it, because it said that he does a lot of hand surgery. So a lot of these doctors, they specialize. Then the guy who did him, so he's in Spokane, I'd have to travel. But I was thinking, I'm going to call him and see if he would do it. Then there's a one, and I remember her because when I was a nurse, I've had a lot of interactions with her. And Dr. Masimoto or something like that. And she is recommended by the health people who follow this, removing your implants. And so there's a whole implant sickness. And I have all of these different, symptoms. And a big one is the joint pain. And so that could be why I keep having all this joint pain, where I keep thinking, well, it could be the whatever they're jumping on us now. It could be all that aspartame that I drank for so long, drinking sweet and low for so long. Or now I'm thinking it probably has a lot to do, and it could be the fucking tattooing. Now I keep seeing that. I can't even watch those videos either. It just gets too much in my head. All the shit that's in that. But the implants, now that's so much in my head of like, oh my gosh. And the possibility of feeling so much better by getting them out. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna, whatever. I got to see how much it costs to go and do the ones that are where they have you come in. And the big thing is I don't want them putting me to sleep. I don't want them going in and doing anything invasive, and I don't want them putting me to sleep. That's the whole reason why I want to do it, is because I could do it by a local and not be put to sleep. Because I could just be in and out of there. And that is like, oh my God, I could just get him. I don't have to wait for the med beds. I could just get him out right now. It's like, hell yeah. And then on a part of the thing where I was looking, seems like it's like $8,000 to get him out. if they go in and do all of their bullshit surgery stuff. That it's like, I don't want all that stuff added in. And so, I don't know. The one doctor in Bellingham, so that's the only one. Then there's like 3 in Seattle. So I've sent messages and I'm going to call them and see. But trying to find one that will do the just go in and out. And I was thinking I'm also going to look up like holistic surgeons. So just see if I can find like holistic surgeons that are just focused on that. Because another thing too is I've seen people is about getting the silver removed out of your teeth and how much that improves your health, and the root canals, getting that shit out. So there's all these different things. It's like some of those that's where it's like, oh my gosh, the med bed will, fix a lot of that stuff. You have to go in all in it. When you go and get those cavities removed, the silver taken out, it's not fun. It's horrible. I've had it done on one before. And they have to keep drilling and drilling and to me, the drilling, I can't handle that stuff. They give you shots and they give you with the epinephrine and it starts giving you palpitations and whatnot. You have to ask for them to not give you the stuff with epinephrine. They'll still try and sneak it in because it makes it not bleed as much or something. But they have, and they don't give a shit. You say you're having palpitations. Oh, would you like some of the gas? Are you nervous? It's like, I can hear and feel the drill. Like, I don't know what it's like for everybody else, but it is horrible. It's like the sound or something. And, now I look at it as it's so archaic. And so all the stuff at the dentist, I've been seeing so many people now, even people going to want to confront their dentist of why their dentist told them to do this, why their dentist told them to do that, because now they've seen the research, which they assume the dentist would know this research, but now that they've seen the research, now it's like, why in the world would you tell me to do this? Why in the world would you tell me to do that? And one thing too is with the fluoride is that where they're saying our teeth aren't lacking that. They have nothing to do with that. So why in the world did they tell us that we needed to put something into our teeth that wasn't even coming out of our teeth? There was nothing in there that was missing. We weren't giving something back. We were adding something that is bad for us in. And that's how this whole thing is always going. It's always just trying to get you to follow along and make you sick. Make you do the things to get you sick. And how many of these doctors, too, when I was looking at these videos, how many of the doctors say, but I couldn't believe how many were just as many of girls going in to get implants. Like, there's a lot of girls, and some of the girls, they only had their implants for a couple years. And then right away went in and got them out. Right away got sick. And, I don't know, I could have just been a long time just sick and just fighting through it like sludge, trying to get through sludge, and just more wears on you and makes you tired. So I don't know. I just know that today what I'm doing is calling around and seeing if I can find somebody to do it, if I can schedule an appointment. And then it's like also, it's like everything's collapsing. How do I get in there? How do I hurry and go? And it'll be like my eye surgery thing when they told me to come in and do that eye surgery. And oh, this is going to be so great. Your pressures will go down and you won't, you don't have to take any medicine and all this shit. And then they go and burn my fucking eyelid, the top of my eyes off. And then quarantine starts. So I couldn't even go in to any kind of appointments. And I know that my eyes are healing. As I heal, I can tell that my eyes are getting better. But I still have issues, especially trying to see up close. My eyes, even if I try and put on like readers or whatever, try and put on magnifying glasses, it's still, it's like something just goes weird with my eyes. They just aren't working right. And, but I'm just going to keep working on my health, because as I work on my health, I know that my eyes will improve. So, and I know that going and putting on glasses and wearing glasses all the time make your eyes worse. And so, I just struggled through the part the not being able to see. Sometimes I think I answer questions and I think that a comment says something and then it doesn't, especially on TikTok because it's so much smaller. On YouTube, I can see it bigger. Like yesterday, this lady who comes in and she tries to say something that's really, she just, I don't know, just comes in to just be rude, just say something rude. And I need to get a thesaurus and I say weird too much. It's like, lady, if that bothers you that I say this is so weird, so weird. For one thing, you probably not very familiar with any of the stuff I talk about. And it always gets me too when people come in and try and ridicule me for like, was it the words, how I talk or something like that. It's like, well, I have a brain injury that has an effect on it. And people who go in and just start attacking people and not even know, like you're going in and attacking somebody for a disability they have, and then you're shaming them and trying to tell them something's wrong with them. And it's like people got to start looking at themselves in the mirror and seeing, you know, why would you go and do that? Like if somebody is, it just blows my mind. If you see something you don't like, why wouldn't you just go past it? Why do you feel like you have to go in and say something mean? What is it that keeps inside of people that is so bitter that they have to go and spread their hate? They have to go spread their anger. And on this lady too, I even went in to look. Sometimes I think, okay, is this even a real person? Like, is this even real? Like, who does this kind of stuff? Like, how do you feel good about yourself when you just are mean and nasty to people? And, and then there's always, where people try and act like, you know, like, I don't know, like how, like you think you have something important to say or something uh, like don't talk about real thing. I don't even know. It's just this weird thing. But then the people who have this attitude, you go look, and their videos are all just like the shallow stuff. They don't give a fuck about anything. But then they get offended over what you give a fuck about. And so when I went and looked at hers, she has posted a video of her just singing to a kitten. I was like, well, that is important stuff. And then she has another one, some about dreams or something. I didn't watch it. I was like, well, this is a real person, obviously. They're posting videos. Obviously, they think that singing to a kitten is more important than the stuff I'm talking about. I feel like your soul and this reality and what this world is a little more important. But, everybody's on their own level. But I don't understand, people who come in and try and be rude and hateful to other people, especially when that is a part of what I even talk about is overcoming hateful people, overcoming people who try and hold you back, people who can't recognize what, because a part of it is you got to hear for yourself. You got to connect to your higher self, your higher source, and then you got to follow the path that you are put on. And, if you don't believe in yourself, it's easy to turn the other direction. It's easy to say, that you have no value, but then you're on a different path. You're on the path to remind you that you do have value, that you do have purpose. And so, to me, it is, you have to learn how to believe in yourself. You have to learn how to follow your own desires, your own dreams, to not let anybody hold you back, to not, just because somebody else doesn't believe in you, you can't just stop believing in yourself. And, I had a few different people, everybody starts saying Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. And, there's part of me that just wants to be like, I just want nothing to do with this holiday. I want nothing to do with any of these holidays. They're all just created to make us spend money. But I know that, it became a part of our lifestyles, a part of our tradition, of getting together with family and having fun and eating and playing games and giving gifts and stuff. And, it's a good part of our connection. But it's very complicated right now because it's also a space where a lot of people are going through a lot of defining of themselves and pulling free from their families. There's a lot of tension, a lot of evolution going on in different people's lives and different people's experiences. And so that, it all has to occur, it has to go that way. But so it's all at different levels of how it goes. But, like there's just a couple of things that keeps coming into my head. So let me refocus. Hold on. Because the people that, like I think I'm part of the thing with the people with their bullies and stuff. Like I had to stop following that girl. Like I don't know if she did that lamb in. She's insinuating she did. And if she would have done it a live on a thing, then yeah, I think you would have been freaking, it seems like you could be arrested for that. Like that is disturbing. If you're going to go out and do a ritual and you're going to kill some animal and then you're just going to say, well, we're going to eat it. Well, we have religious rights. We can, Lucifer is letting us. And so her thing, everything should shift today with CERN and is that her ritual or whatever. But I just stopped following her, just following, and we were friends. So I stopped following her. But so we're still, I don't know. I think she has so many people who are stopped following her. I don't think she's paying any attention. And, like, I really can't care at this point. It just seems like even watching her videos, it seems like she's taking you into the dark with her. She does like these little creepy, like, winks, and I don't know. It just seems like she's so consumed with darkness. And she does live by the Appalachian. Like, I don't know if there's a lot of dark energy around there that she can just get so consumed by it. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of that kind of voodoo and witchcraft and all that kind of energy all up in those mountains. So, I don't know. But somehow she is real in the dark. And she just is like on this deep descent. It's like, where does it end? I mean, you're going to be slaughtering animals to give to your God in this day and age? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, and think that that is cute or funny or sweet or anything other than mental? Like, and that is a thing too with, that aliens, all the monsters up in the sky, how they look at us like, look, people are like primitive. Like, they don't think in an advanced kind of way about life, and they just all fall back on what's comfortable. And it's weird to me is how are you comfortable with this God and devil fighting for your soul? And I don't know, I found it so strange when I was going to church when I was a little kid, and how it would just always be like you couldn't even trust your own thoughts. Oh, it's the devil. Everything that you think of one thing, well, it's the devil trying to make you think in that way. Or God's trying. It was just all this stuff. And when I pulled free from all that, and you start really listening to who's talking, you start paying attention to the energy. You pay attention to what it is they're talking about. You pay attention to what it is they're trying to get you to do. And if you can recognize that pull towards the darkness, then you can pull free from the darkness. You don't have to go with the darkness. Then the darkness is also the allure, just backfires. Like that's the allure, the part that makes people feel good, that then they go into the darkness. But then the darkness is an illusion. And so it will always backfire on you. It will always, because I don't know if it's just pulling you by not showing you the other side. So then once you are overcame by it, then the other side reveals itself so that you have to see, because your soul is here. It's like to combat the darkness, kind of, to me, not as like just a war of light and dark and good and bad and stuff like that. It's more of like, Battleship, the game. It's more of like you come in to see if you can remember. Can you stay true to yourself? To me, this is what I think anyways. It's like you come in and try and see, can you follow your truth? Can you follow, like, can you give time to the evolution of self, to have the going back and forth, the combating from the light and the dark, to go into your conversations, to go into your realizations, so that you can weigh it out, so you can find your own balance, so that you can see, well, if I do this, this would happen, this would happen, this would happen. So is that what I want to happen? If I want that to happen, why do I want that to happen? What am I trying to gain? What am I trying to get here? And if I go this direction, what is it I'm trying to get here? What am I learning? What is it that so you kind of are going back and forth. It is like this angel or devil on your shoulder. You go back and forth to find where it is that you fall. How is it that you stay where you want to stay? Because if you get too pulled and become reactive, so somebody does something and you just get pulled in and become super reactive. Because that is one thing too, is people don't realize that how much, like, they are reactive. Because what was this? Because I was just thinking about this with the anger. It's about all the people who have, because your anger is an effect. It is a trigger. And so then when you see your response, your anger, then, you can see how far somebody can push you, how far somebody can knock you back by getting you to react angrily. And so you have to recognize and witness your own anger to understand, what it is and how you react, why you react. But it's an easy trigger. There was something else to it. I don't remember what it was that I was thinking about it. But anyways, anger is a good one to monitor in yourself, of who gets you mad, what gets you mad, how do you react when you get mad, what can you do different, how can you stop yourself, how can you look at things different. Like, there's all sorts of different places in there that you can stop yourself and look at it differently. And then when you don't get yourself caught up, see, when in a certain place in your anger, then you get so caught up that then it's hard to come back. Then it's like your anger is in motion at that point. And so it's hard to reel it in. That is where, you can do responsible things like go out for a walk, go take time to yourself, to cool off, to calm yourself. And calming yourself a lot of times is, going and sitting in a time of reflection. Go think about things, think about them deeper. And to me, always go in deeper over what it is. Why is this causing a reaction? Why are you having such a reaction? Why are you getting so upset? And just, it's just the more that you work on yourself, the more that you challenge yourself to control yourself, the better you will get at it. The more that you conquer it, where people think like, well, I've done all this healing and then this thing happens and it just, and it'll get them all upset. Well, no, that is like, you've done all this healing, you got yourself up here. So then the next challenge comes in. Can you handle this challenge? Can you handle this, situation? And so the challenges get harder because that's part of the game. So the challenges keep coming. It's like you're constantly leveling up. So when you heal something, then yeah, another challenge will come in, whereas somebody is going to push those buttons. Something will happen, like I said, for mine, it has been so often about, my own attitude, my own judgment. And it's hard when you can see things ahead, and you can see where people are headed and what they're doing. And, there's so many times when I wanted to save somebody. It's taken me a long time to get to the point of seeing like, oh, I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to be able to sit back and relax. I'm working on me. I'm supposed to be able to sit back and relax and watch somebody make their own mistakes and not feel like I need to fix it. I need to judge it. I need to just relax and realize that that's what life is all about. And everybody has that right. Everybody has a right to their mistakes. Everybody has a right to their lessons. Everybody has a right to their experiences. There's no reason for any of us to step in and say, well, you can't do it that way. Well, you got to do it this way. It's like, no, they're here to learn this other way. They're here to learn this. They're here to experience that. They're here to show the universe this other thing. And there's so many different things playing out. Like, oh my gosh, I swear to God, just when you think like you've heard it all, like some other story comes up and it's like, oh my gosh, the craziest, it's just the craziest stories just keep going and going and going. But so the anger is a really easy one to get pushed. And and to me, like with my one daughter, because my one daughter, that told me, well, have a nice life, who, because I said it was against my boundaries, that for me, to be in a conversation with somebody, like if I'm going to be in a conversation, then I should be able to speak freely, just as everybody else should be able to speak freely. Everybody should be able to say what their opinions are over whatever in the conversation. That's what a conversation is. It's people sharing ideas and opinions. So if you are in a conversation where people tell you that, no, your ideas are weird, you look at things weird, you have weird beliefs, and we don't want to hear it. And if you talk about your beliefs, you want us to, like I'm forcing people to go see things the way I see them or something. And to me, I'm not trying to force anybody, but I want to still be heard. I want what I have to say to be able to be said. Like, so for me to say that that's against my boundaries, I'm not going to be involved in conversations when I am not being able to speak. And for that to be against somebody's boundaries, for me to be myself, for me to be able to speak, I just think, man, she just isn't looking at it. She's looking at it from one perspective. She's not looking at it from, but that's where life gives you these other opportunities to have these other perspectives. So they'll place you in a role so that you will experience what it is that you're putting off on somebody else. So somewhere along the line, somebody will do to her what she's doing to me, so that the universe it's like the universe tries to get you to click it in so you see it, because we learn not from just being told. We learn from awareness and experience. And so paying attention to your experience and acknowledging your experience, trying to go deeper into your experience, trying to understand what you're there to learn, makes it more productive. And so, that's how I just know the universe works. It's always going to put experiences in for the things that, how you look at things, to widen your perspective, which I think the things that you look at are the things that you're here to learn about. The things that you desire are the things you're here to look about, to learn about, to experience. And that's why it's important for you to follow your desires and stuff. What was that one? Because it was somebody else. And I've been seeing some videos where people are putting things together more of understanding, but like in synchronicities and the people that you meet, there's a reason why you meet the people you meet, and that there's purpose behind all your interactions, because there's a reason why you meet the people you meet. And there's things that you're here learning all the time, unless you're ignoring your lessons and just focused on, superficial stuff, which so many people are. But that's why the universe is going to rip that tablecloth off of the table to show them what is really there. So everybody's going to see what's under the tablecloth. And it's going to be, it's just going to be shocking for a lot of people, because so many people are just so surface. Whatever is on the top, they think that's all there is. It's like, well, there's tablecloth's probably hiding a lot of stuff. There's probably a lot of stuff underneath. So once that tablecloth comes off and everything is shown, but the biggest thing, like I'm always saying, is it's going to be individual. What people individually go through is going to be our hardest thing, is the awakening part of what they're going through, and having to see whatever it is, they're going to see it from a different perspective, and they're going to see it from a way that they haven't seen it before. And like I said, it's going to be so much like the universe is going to be holding a mirror right up in front of your face, and you can't get away from it. No matter what you do, it's going to be right in front of you. And like the girl who I talk about, she talked to my daughter yesterday. She didn't call me, and she called my daughter though. And I think that one thing too is people have got to really be aware of your own patterns of looking for someone to feel sorry for you. Like those are they're valid. They're valid. I'm not saying, it's not, but you have to move out of that energy. And you have to move out of that victim mentality of just, looking for somebody to just have a pity party with you. You got to find your own strength. And it is hard when people are so lost inside themselves and they are so confused and they don't even know, who all's in there. And I'm sure that there's some people with such loud, dark energy voices in there that they're so loud and booming in their minds that they, like that time when I had, when I was a kid, and I had that whole experience where I jumped out the window and I was being chased by this energy, and it was so loud and I could hear it so loud in my head. But that whole feeling before it started chasing me of how it was like the master, like it was not, I was so cold and it wasn't going to give me any blankets, and it was guarding all these blankets. It was like there was blankets all around it. It was guarding these blankets, and it was laughing at me, kind of like out of a Christmas Carol. And so then when I reached down, I grabbed my sheet and tried to pull it up, and it said it was going to get me. It told me I couldn't have any. And then I jumped out my window and started running, and I could hear it right behind me. And he kept saying he was going to get me. And that, I think that dark energy, I think that dark energy is in a lot of people's minds. It keeps them trapped. It keeps them, it's like a guard. And it's not going to necessarily say mean things in a way that you're going to think it's talking mean to you. It will say more things that will keep you divided and isolated and in a place where you don't trust other people. Other people are out to get you. Everybody's going to hurt you. And so it will keep you in a state of isolation. And you have to break free from that yourself. Like, I don't know how to tell people how to get like this prison break out of your mind. It's like, to me, the biggest things are just question things, slow down, question things that are going on, question yourself. Every time you do something, every time you think something, every conversation in your mind, start stopping yourself and asking yourself, where did that come from? Where'd that thought come from? Who's talking in my head? Like, start trying to really slow it down and hear and pay attention to the conversations, to how you react, to how you find yourself on autopilot. So start slowing down and questioning so you can start being more proactive and more regulated. Like, you're more emotionally regulated, and you're more, it is a containment and a control that you can have for yourself over your emotions, so that you're not just being whipped around all the time. Because this place will just whip you around all the time until you're just worn out and beat down. And I think that is happening to a lot of people. It just wears you down, just beats you up, and it just keeps you sick. So you're just dragging yourself around. Like, man, I swear, I feel like getting these implants out, especially if they can just do that, like, quick little thing, because that's the only way I'm going to do it. I'm not going to go be put under and have them go in there and start digging around. And I just want, and who knows how much they're still going to charge. Still may take me a time to start saving up for it, and then saving up for it. And I still, like, because it's going to be the first of the year, and I may have to start, figuring out where I'm going to go next. I may need to start buying a camper or something. I think I saw some videos of a camper. I was like, oh, I don't know about a camper. That would be really so narrow for Stella. She would have to be going reverse all the time. I think that would be uncomfortable. I think I need to just see about getting one of those vans where there's just like a spot in the middle, just with a little bed. And I've got my little, oven thing, a little air fryer. Like I've got everything I would need for a little kitchen. And so I don't know. I don't feel like, like I have to have a house. If I lose this house, then I'll just feel like it's either, that this whole property is going to be gone. When there was so many explosions yesterday, I was like, fuck. I mean, I don't even know if that's like a tree falling on someone's house and something exploding. I would look up and see if I saw like orange or flames or some sort of reflection. It just kept being so black. And we're so like right in the mountains. And before, when I had said to the neighbor about all the explosions I was hearing, and I was blaming it on the tectonic plates. And, everybody just thinks I'm such a nutcase. But so she was saying, well, she asked some people, and they said that the explosions are coming from the mountains. Well, if they're coming from the mountains, so is the tunnels in the mountains that they're going in, and they're battling or something over here. Then there's some kind of mountain tunnels that they're at too. I think it was Colorado, someplace or some mountain where they're saying that was like their last one that they had to clear out. And maybe it's called like Mount Cheyenne or something. And it's not like Area 51, but it seems like it's some kind of place like that. And I just heard little talks about it. And I'm not even sure, but it seems like it's kind of a secret space station kind of place where they do secret lab stuff. And I think it's something called Mount Cheyenne. And I think even Trump has talked about, like, there's been these drops or something. So anyways, I don't know. I feel like everything is close to everything, turning in our favor. But it just, like, it feels so, like, tightly wound. Like, man, it's so weird. It's how much I felt like it was tightly wound, like, a year ago. And you just feel like, well, I can't get any more tighter than this. And it just keeps cranking and cranking more tighter, where you just feel like just pulled to the very limit of what you can do. And so, I don't know. Like right now, I feel like my head, I feel like my eyeballs, I feel like everything is just like being so pulled, so tight. And then it's like something will happen to like release the pressure. And those of us who are, have our sails turned in the right direction, or our, what is that thing called? Like router, I don't know, some sailing term. So if we have, we're turned in the right direction, and when it releases, when the pendulum releases to swing back the other way, see, we'll be going in a good direction. It's the people who are all in the upside down, then it is so much where they're going to come out somewhere where they're not expecting. Things are going to hit them. It just is so much where there's so many people who think they're awake. But when you're awake, it is to do with your soul and your consciousness, and taking responsibility and understanding and being more caring about people, and understanding what's happening here is all this spiritual thing. And you have spiritual people who aren't even acknowledging that. They think that there's just chosen people and then NPCs, and that there's so much. And so all the different people will have all these different things to face in themselves. And so a lot of these people, I think some of them think like everything is going to start going really good in their lives when this thing switches. And some of them, I think that they're going to be faced with some really hard ego work that they don't even see coming. And that is going to shock them, because they're going to think that they've done so much work. But when the work is coming and hitting you, then you just got to see. You got to, what you need to work on is going to come in and hit you. It always does. It finds you. You don't have to go looking for it. It finds you. And it's like, that's why you got to be present when your lessons come in, because the lessons find you. You don't have to think, okay, so what am I going to learn today? Better go out and find somebody to teach me this lesson. No, it's just automatic. It has come to you. And if you are distracted, not paying attention, which, one thing too, it just really drives me crazy. because it is like how people are on the fucking gear and shit. It was the same thing with the spiritual community. There's people just like, oh, just buy these crystals and take off your shirt and your shoes, grow your hair out, and you are fucking chosen light worker, star seed, 144, waiting to leave the matrix, super being. And that whole shenanigan. Now you have these other people who you got the people who just buy a Bible and they've got all of the answers to all the world. But you have the people who, what was this one? Another one I was going to bitch about. One I was starting to bitch about, and then I went off on the other thing to make a point or an example. Is because the people who think that they just buy it's like put on the outfit, put on the persona, and call yourself something, call yourself this label, which is so weird too to me with these spiritual people who resort back to the Bible all the time. It's like they pull out their tarot cards, read their tarot cards, and then they'll pull out their Bible and start reciting scriptures to you. It's like, this is so strange. But everybody has their own place, their own point, their own stuff that they're either here teaching or learning or whatever. To me, it's just a lot of things that just don't go together. But what is this one that I had just seen where it was like all these people putting on this certain persona, calling themselves something, and it isn't. It's just like just taking the name. It's just taking the label, and what was it? Because I keep seeing it and seeing it with these people. Oh man, it's just completely going blank out of my head. I can't think of what it was, and I'm so uncomfortable. I'm so uncomfortable, and I feel so scattered too about as I don't know. I feel like it's like saying the same things all the time. It's like, people got to stop and slow down. You got to think for yourself. You got to question yourself. Oh, okay, yeah, I remember now. Okay, so just the same way as the stupid fucking thing with the rainbow thing. So everything had to be rainbows, like all these flags, all these clothes. And it's like, do you think any of that money was really going to some sort of gay organization, some sort of human rights organization or anything like that? And so there's just somebody who is just constantly profiting off of paraphernalia, propaganda. Is buy a fucking rainbow shirt and support your aunt or your uncle or your little brother, whatever it is. So then now it's driving me crazy because every motherfucker has these motherfucking scarves on. And some of them will start trying to teach you about the scarf. And it's like, there's people who bought it just because they want to make sure that this money goes to Pakistan. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Y'all really think that money is going to this? You really don't think that this is just another profit-making get everybody to jump on board. Everybody runs out and buys their flag, buys their t-shirt color, buys their hat, buys their scarf to show who that they support. And then, all of a sudden, that's not, what is it that they're always saying? That when they're culture appropriation, so you're appropriating other people's culture, and so that's a big no-no. But then all of a sudden, when it's something like this, well, you got to, and you got to explain what it all means. And, and I'm sure everybody's buying handmade ones from these little kids that live in the streets that are just trying to make a buck. It's like, yeah, okay. I'm sure you're not making it off of, you're probably funding the people who are the ones doing the mass slaughter. It's like, stop buying this fucking shit. It's all they want you to do is pick a team and consume. Buy your team colors. Put on your fucking face paint. Buy the shirt. Buy the t-shirt. Buy the hat. Buy the coat. Buy everything, you know, it's just buy, 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 buy. Because that's where they sell, 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 sell. And their whole thing about trying to just sell us stuff to make us sick, the whole thing of like, once they got a hold of petroleum, well, let's just put it in every single thing and poison the fuck out of them. I bet you that they knew before the reset. They started this reset knowing that what the things that they were going to poison us with, what they were going to do. And there's, you know, so many darker skinned people coming to the realization, you know, that they're the natural people, that they were the natural born people, and that different things like about slaves and stuff, like why would you do this if you were trying to make free workers? Because they weren't. They were trying to control another group of people, to put them in their place and to take them down. It's been nonstop, you know, genocide from all indigenous people from the very beginning. This like one group of settlers, like you think of them as like reptilians, you know, coming in, and then they're going to control, you know, and kill all these other natural beings unless that they can be controlled. And then some of the other ones who are here are also settlers. So that's why some of these places, like there's the tribes that have come from here, that come from, you know, the animals or whatever being was, the creature that they started with the DNA splicing and stuff, that they started making their original slaves. So it was originally for slaves, but then everybody stepped out to let the beings experience, to see how, you know, if it was a good option for experiencing. And which, you know, it did turn out to be a good option for experiencing. And there is evolution that occurs, and it's but it's slow, man. Slow how it's so primitive how people think. And so the evolution, the I don't even know where I went off on that time. Got lost somewhere in there. But anyways, the people, oh, okay, so the people who were originally here, and then there's been more other beings coming from other places, and then they had sex with other beings, and then they created other beings. And so then you have also the scientists that they were trying to create other beings and taking things out and moving DNA around, just like what people do with the dogs. And it's so crazy. I can't even tell you. Every week, I think I see a video with some new breed that they have come up with in China. So they're just sitting there just breeding different dogs together to just see what they can make, what they can come up with. And that they start selling them for such huge prices. It's like, I don't know. It's just a whole thing about the animals that just drives me crazy. Of people just don't care. People just step over everything else. They have no respect for life, no respect for harmony, no respect for other beings. And they just, I don't know, it's so fucking ego. It's so ego. And like I said, it's arrogance, or they just think they're better than other people. Ego, thinking that they're better than other people. And the ignorance of not even seeing the whole story, of not even really understanding everything. And to just be so, I don't know. It's like this hatefulness. But that is the side that people have to see. See, that's why the universe is going to make sure you see it. Make sure you see this hateful side of yourself. Is that you can't have this hateful side that you have, that you don't know, that you're just going around and, you know, aiming at the world. But you have no awareness of it, because that has no place in the age of Aquarius life. But in that new game part, it's not going to be that kind. You have to have awareness of who you are. You have to be active in what your energy that you're putting out. You have to have an a focus of wanting to find harmony and balance, not trying to be in a hierarchy, not trying to chase other people's dreams, not trying to be better than other people, to just want to, uh, it's like everything, when everything just goes into its place, it just is peaceful, like the river just runs peacefully. When everything is trying to rearrange itself and find its own place and move into a better position, then it's chaos. See, that's what we're in right now, is this sense of chaos. We're in the storm. We're in the rearrangement. And so, but that's where you got to find peace. In the rearrangement, you got to find peace, but you also got to find solitude in yourself, in your soul, in your understanding of yourself, so you can find peace in your experience. And that has to do with always understanding you're always where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there. There's nothing that is happening isn't supposed to happen. There's nothing that you can change how it's going to happen. There's nothing you did wrong. There's nothing that you should have done differently. It all is exactly the way it's supposed to be. Everything is always the way it's supposed to be. And that is the challenge, is coming comfortable with that philosophy and not trying to battle life, not trying to control life, not trying to control others to find peace in your own life. It's be able to relax and just find, your place in the river, your place in the movement of the water, just your place, and just relax into it. Just, it's like, treat life as a riding the rapids on your raft, just like a raft trip. You just find your place in where everybody else has got their rafts. You just find your place and just lay back and relax and go to your happy place and let life happen and go through the experiences that come directly to you. It is really, man, it was terrifying last night, man. I'm telling you, it was so loud and so many crashes and so much explosions. And it was like, oh my God. I'll start telling my own self, like, what in the world? My stomach will not stop growling. I even ate a piece of cake before I started this. I thought, well, maybe if I eat a piece of cake, my stomach won't growl. Well, it's still growling. It's like, oh my God, come on. What was I about to say? Oh no, I feel so tired. I really felt like there was like, the sleep was just jacked up last night. And I don't know what today is going to be like. It's just like, swear to God, it's so fucking dark. We have just rain, 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 rain. But I'm going to look for a plastic surgeon or some kind of surgeon who will do that and find out the price. And then whatever, I hope that it would be so nice if when I got my paycheck, I had enough money and that there's an appointment available. Like, we just got to see how the universe plays this out, because I didn't even know. Like, that's why I kept waiting for the med beds. I didn't know till yesterday that it could be done with the local anesthetic and they could just pop them out and you could be out in 15 minutes. I was like, hell yeah. Now that I know that, that's a huge desire of mine, especially in the whole part of detoxing my body and trying to get healthier, and to just keep being stuck in this, I don't know. Yeah, to me, I have thought the whole time it is all these poisons that they're dumping on us. But man, I'm telling you that that medicine, let's pull it out again, is making such a difference on Stella. And her cysts and stuff are all going away. And she still has a few cysts. I don't know now that I'm doing that and her food at the same time. But I think I'm going to keep her off of the food and just keep feeding her people food. And she's so picky. Even when you just put like a regular dogs, like you could put down your leftovers and people food, oh my God, they'll eat them up in 2 seconds. I feel like it's like the best thing in the whole wide world. She is picky. She will go over and sniff something and be like, oh my God, not this again. She's so picky. And she's always had human food. And anyways, just as, I don't know, that kind of just cracks me up how she's so picky, and other dogs will just come in and be so happy to have any of it. And she's just like, oh man, I don't know about this. It's like, I don't know about this. So anyways, there's something else, because I feel so out of it. I feel so tired. And I don't know. I'm gonna go drink some more of my root powder tea. Um, seems like there was something else I wanted to say. I just keep seeing lots of weird things. Um, I don't know. It's all the things are just going to keep being weird. All the different things. The money things, the medical things, the government things. Oh, this is kind of funny. Is now it's come out who's the highest paid person by the government. Oh, and who do you think it would be? A little fucking troll, the fraud. So he is, but you know, I swear to God, you can see this stuff coming. And it's all going to, you know, it's like all going to domino backwards onto it's going to all expose all the bad people. So everything is going to be to expose bad people, and they just keep coming and coming and coming. I guess, you know, it's been for sure now. Oprah was really arrested. For sure, she really had a lot of documents that were confiscated. But I think a lot of this is a show. I think a lot of this stuff happened already. Just like I think the stuff at the strip happened already. I think, and I don't know how they have these people who are over there reporting nonstop live on Instagram, because they also have these people that they set up. Like they find these people and then they'll set them up, tell them to come over there, and then they can set them up like on a movie set where the people don't know it's a movie set. There's weird shit going on. So I don't know. I mean, there's so much bad stuff that's still going in Hawaii, and everybody just blew that off. And Congo is so bad. Like, there's so many bad things going in so many places. So many bad things going in Canada. Like, so much stuff going. And then for them just to focus on this one place, be out there waving all these flags, bringing all of it, everybody, come on over, come here, you know, stand out here at these protests, speak other languages, and, you know, we don't need to know what's going on. We'll just stand here, you know, because we are so into showing what good people we are. We bought one of the flags, we got the cool scarf. It's like, oh my God, the trends behind some of this shit. It's like, I don't know. We got to stand up for human rights, and but I don't know, they're just going at it in this weird way. It's just, I don't know, but it's gonna go how it's gonna go. However it's gonna go is the way it's gonna go, and it's what makes the change. I can sit back and, you know, judge it, and what is that called? It's like break it down piece by piece. But that's not going to change it. It's still going to go down the way it's going to go down. And if it's going to be the stuff at the strip that's going to get the people to wake up, then that's the way it's going to go. So however it goes, as long as we get to the place where people start waking up and realizing, you know, what this place is, what their role is, what they're doing, why they're doing it. So anyways, just as you just go through your day, your daily practice, just ask yourself all the time what you're doing, why you're doing it, who you're doing it for, what you're hoping to accomplish, and pay attention to the voices talking back to you, and start paying attention to their energy, how they make you feel. Do they make you feel like divisive? Do they make you feel more beat down? Or do they make you feel hopeful and optimistic and happy and excited? So anyways, I just think that that's important, is to focus on the things that do make you happy and excited, because that is, I don't know, I just think it's important to be directing your energy towards the things that make you happy. And there's a lot of people who are directing it towards what makes them mad, the people that make them mad, the people that piss them off. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm doing that too much by seeing some of the things. But then I block them. I will block those people out of my life. Like, I'm not seeing any more of Lucifer Lover's stuff. If I keep seeing it and she just keeps bringing us darkness, I will just go in and block her. But right now, I could just unfollow her, and she just seems to kind of disappear. But that's what I just don't get. Like, if I annoy somebody, just don't follow me. Just don't. You don't have to listen to me. And it's just made me think about, like, some of the other experiences, even with different people. To me, it's all stuff of, you have to learn your own boundaries and stuff. But just, recognizing like people coming in and telling you like, you have to think something different, you have to feel something different. And if you don't, then you're not seeing it right. It's like, that's total gaslighting. And so you just get a lot of these people who try and do, um, I don't know, toxic behaviors. Like, if you do something publicly, then you pull in more people. Like, one thing if you have your family that is just being toxic to you, but then if you go public, then you have other people that you don't know, and they can bring you down too. They can make you feel bad, and so it's like that negative energy. So to me, it's just like, that's fine. That could be your attitude, but I'm not going to play with your attitude. I'm not going to play your games and stuff. And if the energy is negative and toxic feeling to me, I'll just block it out of my life, because I want to focus on positive and happy, and not just like love and light. It's different than that. It's, having better relationships, not pretending, not just ignoring the sides of myself, being real and being authentic, and then having positive relationships that are deeper, where people are more thoughtful and deeper about what they think about, not just all surface and nonsense. So, anyways, but that's the shift that we're going through, where everybody is going from the shallow into more deeper. And I guess we'll see. Some people may think that they are deep and they're still super shallow. Like, I think a lot of people don't realize how shallow they really are. Because I know, for myself, as being somebody who is always very deep and very offensive or annoying to other people, because people don't want to think deep about things, and how many people are always put off by those of us who were talking about things that were deeper and looking at things more serious and stuff. So there's a lot of people who refuse to look at that deeper side of life. And that will affect them when this goes down. They will, have to see that side of themselves, this really shallow side of themselves. But just remember, it's easy to just go in deeper. Just go in deeper. Go into a more thoughtful place. Go in and look at things in a deeper way. Think things through. Question things. Try and understand things on a deeper level. That's my advice. Anyways, we'll just see how this day goes. Hopefully I find a plastic surgeon. Hopefully, I'm just hoping everything is just going to go really smooth, that the universe has just brought this in just like they brought the toaster oven in. It's like, hell yeah. So I'm just feeling optimistic, and I'll see what this day brings. But I do have to put some work into it, because I do have to make some calls and see if I can find a doctor who will do it, then find appointment time. And also, though, I want to trust the universe that they're going to bring this to me. And so not stress out about it too much. Like, they've put the desire in, and I know what I want. And so now just like, let's see how it works out. Let's see how it happens. So anyways, we'll see how it happens. But that is definitely what I'm manifesting right now, is to get these implants removed by a simple local anesthetic surgery, like these 15-minute surgeries, and have it done. God, I'm so excited. So anyways, we gotta find things that make us excited. It's funny too. You gotta focus on your health. You just get excited, like, oh my God, I could feel better. Oh my God, that could be so wonderful to just be able to feel good for a while. It's like, God dang, the things that bring us joy, just to feel good. It's really sad, but it's going to go into things will be better. Things are going to get so much better. We just got to go through the growing pains. Like, you just keep thinking about, like, we're just in this adolescent period where everybody's trying to, like, learn to tie their shoe together. They're learning how to try and walk together. Some learning how to dance. Some are learning how to sing. Everybody's just learning how to find their voice and find out who they are. So we're just at this really stumbly part. But really, if you try and get into it in the observation mode and just seeing all these souls just trying to discover themselves, just trying to figure out who they are and get back to that beginning, when you were born into this place, and get back to who you were.
who you were when it all started, before somebody beat you down and made you feel bad about yourself. Just get back to that person. And, remembering. It's the remembering who you are is the fun part. And then to enjoy yourself, to enjoy who you are. All the time I find myself doing things like, oh, this is what I would have just done like when I was a kid, and who cares? Like, just stupid things. You'll just see. It's just, you'll find this child side of yourself. And it's just like, get back in touch with that side of yourself. And it's like finding the joy in life again. So, anyways, we'll see how this day goes. Take care of yourself. Who knows? Like, I'm telling you, when the power was going out last night over and over, I was like, okay, so I'm probably, we got to be headed to that part. And then to not know in your area too of how bad things are going to get. The whole thing is just, it's intense. It's intense. So, when things are going on, don't think that I'm just sitting back going like, oh yeah, no big deal. No, it's stressing me the fuck out. Like, fucking wind terrorizes me. I have PTSD with the wind. I've been in a tornado before. The wind is just like, oh man, I don't know. Those southern and midwestern storms, it's like, ugh. So the wind and all of the sounds of things hitting into the house and running across the roof and stuff, and then you're just here with your dog and and it's fucking just pitch black out. It's like, oh my god, this is terrorizing. Terrifying. This is a scary movie. We're definitely in a scary movie, that's for sure. But we came here for this scary movie. We came here because we knew we could handle it. You just got to remember you can handle it. So anyways, do what you can do today to remember how powerful you are, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye.